Hey there, Tri-5 Chevy fans. Welcome back to another episode of Classic Chevy Revival, the show where we dive into the world of timeless Chevrolet classics. I'm your host, Kevin, and today we're tackling a topic that hits close to home for many vintage car owners, and that's the heater core. It's been a year since I replaced the heater core in my 56, and let me tell you, it's a journey worth sharing. So buckle up for some tips, tricks, and a whole lot of drive and revive as we discuss the intricacies of the heater core replacement. So like I said, it's been about a year, well, it's just over a year since I replaced the heater core in my 56, and it wasn't that hard to do, which was kind of surprising. It's a little bit aggravating, I will say that. But, having coolant leaking into the cabin of your vehicle, that can cause all sorts of problems. First, when your car isn't warmed up yet, the coolant will make a mess on your floorboards and possibly start the process of corrosion. And as the coolant leaks onto your floor, it will soak into your carpet and the padding. As the moisture stays trapped in your carpet, it can start to corrode the floor pan in your car. And that was the case that happened with my car. And since this is all happening under the carpet, it can quickly compromise the integrity of the floor of your vehicle, making it unsafe. And another problem with coolant leaking into the cabin of your vehicle is that once it is warmed up, that coolant will be almost 200 degrees. This hot coolant will quickly turn to steam in your car and will definitely cause an unpleasant odor. And the steam can also quickly spread through your ventilation system, making it very difficult to remove that odor. Depending how big the leak is, the steam can cause fogging problems on your windows and leave you with no way to clear the condensation, since it is your ventilation system that is spreading the problem. And lastly, antifreeze is a poisonous substance, so breathing in its vapors can even be harmful to you and your passengers. Replacing a leaking heater core can be extremely annoying project, like I said, and mainly due to its location in your vehicle. For me, I'm a bigger person, so the front seat and that was in the way and laying kind of funny underneath the dashboard, well, that didn't help either. So the heater core needs to be right next to the fan that pushes the air through your ventilation system. And that fan needs to be near the firewall of your car so it can have the ability to both pull air in from outside the vehicle or recirculate the air in the cabin depending on the settings of the system. And if you have air conditioning in your car, then the AC evaporator will be right next to the heater core, which is also a delicate piece of equipment that is difficult to move. Fixing a leaking heater core will always be much easier than replacing one. So if you believe you only have a minor leak in the heater core, you can try simply sealing that leak and leaving your heater core in place. My 56 has a deluxe heater, which in that case the blower does not have to be removed. Just separate the blower housing from the heater box by sliding that rubber connection over. Also, the standard and deluxe heaters use the same box and core sizes, and the deluxe heater has an internal valve to control temperature. The deluxe also has a fresh air vent lever to draw air in from the vent. Either heater fits in the same place in the car and takes up the exact same room. The standard heater had a flipper rod down on the heater box to select defrost or heat on your feet. The control panel was much simpler and had a knob instead of a slider to control the fan speed, and from what I've heard, a lot of times these died pretty quickly. The basic difference is in the heater core. The deluxe heater core has a water control valve with slide levers which controls the water flow through it, which controls the temperature. The regular heater core does not have a control valve as part of the core, and there's a manual control valve in the water flow line under the hood, and you can regulate the water flow or you can turn it off completely. Pretty basic, but it works well. And if you have the deluxe heater, you can buy a new core, which are available from many Tri-5 Chevy outlets. Also on that note, I had my heater core rebuilt, or recored actually, I guess I should say, and it cost me probably twice as much than a new one would have cost, but I was kind of going for I wanted to keep the car as original as possible. Okay, all right, so let's remove the heater core. On the firewall side, you will find several studs, and removing the battery box will also help to locate the studs. Depending on the heater, you will have 2 to 5 studs. The 3 around the blower motor will not need to be removed, but loosening them will help to get the box disconnected from the blower cage assembly. So remove the nuts, locking washer, and flat washer. There will be a screw all the way to the left edge of the heater box on the inside of the car as well. Be sure to remove all the cables off the control panel if you have one. Also remove the hoses from the heater nipples. Pull it down and out, rolling the heater nipples up and the unit towards you. Many times, if it has never been out, it will stick to the firewall pad. Also on the outside of that firewall, there are a couple of screws that I removed as well, one behind the distributor, and there was another one down below the battery box to the right of the battery box. And a radiator man once told me that lots of heater cores get damaged by amateur installers when the hoses are put in. I guess it's easy to crack the solder joints if you twist the hoses and force them on. So he told me it's better to get them warm and use some type of a lubricant to help slide them on. And be sure to hold the copper tube as steady as possible to prevent the flexing. And I've also read many postings in the past about replacement heater cores, and some have had problems with aftermarket cores, and primarily those are the ones that are made overseas. Also, on a side note, the heater core on a 57 Chevy is removable from the engine compartment area. Remove the 2 hoses and sleeve from the blower to the air tube. Slide the 2 retainers up. Remove the air tube and you will find the core is free to come out. You may find that it's not the core leaking, but that the heater control valve is bad. And that also holds true for the 55 and 56 heater cores. So there you have it, folks. Just a very quick look at the heater core removal on this episode of Classic Chevy Revival. And I hope you find our exploration into the heater core replacement both informative. Remember, keeping your classic Chevy in top-notch condition is not just about the exterior shine. It's about preserving the heart and soul under the hood. And as we say in the world of classic cars, drive and revive, because every rev of the engine brings those vintage beauties back to life. So I hope you like and subscribe, and as always, leave your comments below. And until next time, this is Kevin, and let's keep those classics on the road, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Classic Chevy Revival.